As today, I am Dr. Bliss and I'm going to walk you through these tutorials. So make sure you stay connected with us. But before we move on, please do us this simple favor. Just click on the subscribe button. Subscribe. Just hit on the bell and let us continue. These are the topics we are going to discuss in this tutorial. Moving object or moving a layer. We are also going to talk about transforming a layer, scaling a layer, and then aligning layers. And then also by the end of this whole topics, you are going to create your own flyer with that one. I hope you stay connected and enjoy these tutorials. Without much ado, let's get things moving. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk about is the move tool. Okay, so we are going to talk about the move tool in Photoshop already. If you have not learned the basics of layer, I want you to click on the top there, watch the basics of Photoshop layers. Before you can move an object, you should make sure that the padlock here is removed. Okay, if the padlock here is not removed, let's say it's locked here, let's lock this layer. If this padlock is not removed and you start to work on the layer, it is not going to be possible. You can't move it. Okay, so we are talking about move to here, but before then let us do this simple work. I'm going to crop this image, so you will hit C on the keyboard, or you can come to this side and look for crop tool. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to open up the canvas a little. Okay, you want to create this particular white spaces around it. All right, so we have this here. All right, so after that hit enter on your keyboard. Now we are going to move it. So this is how the move tool works. Let me create um a copy of this, but before then I'm going to hide this one. We are going to work on the first layer, this particular layer. Okay, so we are going to work on this one. Now in Photoshop there is what we call auto select. Okay, in movement. So this is the auto select. It is checked when, let me show this one again. So we have two objects this way. Let me separate them so that you see them. Okay, so the auto select, this is what it does. When the auto select is checked, what it means is that if you try to move this layer, okay, it will move even if it has covered this and you try to move. Okay, so let's say I want to move this layer, but because this layer is under this layer, you cannot move it, because when you click on this one it's going to select the layer uppermost, and when you click on this it's going to select the layer at the lower bottom. Okay, so we want to avoid that. So what we are going to do is we are going to uncheck the auto select. So should in case I want to move the layer 0, that is the bottom layer, you can see that it's selected here. So even if I click this side, the bottom layer is going to move. Okay, when you check it, okay, when you check the auto select and I try to move it, it will select the uppermost one. So that is the difference between the auto select here. Okay, so if I want check this and I want to move the top one, okay, even if the top one is not here and I try to move it, it is going to move. You can see that the top one is moving. Okay, and if I want to move the down one, it means I have to select the down one and then move it. So that is the auto select. We will tackle the remaining controls as we move on. So that is that for this one. Now we are going to talk about, so to transform image. If you want to transform image, you use the keyboard shortcut Control T, or you go to edit and then look for transform. Okay, so we have the transform here. So under transform, you will see the various things you can do under transform, and then we have the free transform. So the control T is the free transform we are going to talk about here. As far as we are talking about free transform, we also talk about transform, whereby we will talk about the scaling, the rotating, the scaling, the distorting, the perspective, and the warp. We are going to discuss all these things. So you can avoid it. With a shortcut, we just press Ctrl Shift C for that one. So let's start with the transforming tool. So if you want to transform this image, you will hit Ctrl T. Okay, when you hit Ctrl T, you see we have controllers here that you can use to do or adjust whatever you're doing. When I check this one, all those controls will be gone. So I'll press on Control T. Okay, then so let's see. If I use my mouse to move, you can see that the numbers here are changing. The X numbers are changing. If I move to this side, the X numbers too are changing again. It's increasing. So it is either you use this place to move the object to the left, or you just select and then move the object. If you want to go to the app, you just use the Y axis. Okay, use the Y axis to do that. Okay, so if we want to increase the width of the image, because this link is checked, it means when I try to increase the width, it is going to increase the height as well. So let's see. As you can see, I'm decreasing the width, and then the height too is decreasing. When I increase the width, the height too will increase. Okay, so that is that. But if I uncheck this one and I try to increase it, you can see that only the width is changing, while the height is not what changing. That is for that. And if you want to change the angle, you use this one to change the angle. So if I increase this one, it's going to rotate it. If I go this way, it will rotate it. Okay, so you don't want it that way. Then this is how you can do it. Turn off this show controls. Then you press Ctrl T. Then you place your mouse cursor around the side. Then you see that the cursor has changed to rotation. Then you can change the angle to any perspective that you want. As you can see, I'm changing the angle to any perspective. But sometimes you want to restrain the angle to a particular. Right now, it is at the center. So if I bring it here, okay, coming, okay. So you can see I've checked this one now. Now you can see the position now. So I'm going to move this one to this side. So it means if I position this to the angle here and I try to rotate it, it's going to rotate around this particular area. As you can see, it's rotating around that particular area. Okay, if I bring it to this side, I try to rotate it, see what's going to happen. It's going to rotate around that area. Okay, same way if I bring it to the center, let's say this side, then try to rotate it. You see, it is rotating around that particular area. All right, that is transforming of image. Okay, transforming of image. And as far as transforming is concerned, you can also talk about this one, the wipe. The wipe allow you to modify the image to any shape that you want. So let me check this, and you can see I can just hold here, then type this side. See, it is a book. Okay, I can do this, then I'll hit enter. As you can see, I've created something like a book which is trying to open. Okay. So that is the power of the wipe. Or you can just go to this side, the wipe again, then try to this side and see what is going to happen. Okay, okay. So that is the power of the wipe. So you can just play around it. So you are not going to use much of the wipe and stuff, but you are going to deal more with transforming, increasing the size and then decreasing the size. So when you use the wipe, when you turn on the wipe, you're going to see these controls, the split, and then the clockwise vertical. So let's see, if you choose this one, okay, if I select this, see what is going to happen. Okay, so you just come to this side and you see what's going to happen. Okay, so you can create another areas for you to modify it or transform it. As you can see, can you see that? Wow, this is the power of the wipe. Let's go back, and then let us go to the wipe again, and then the next one is you are going to divide it straightforward. You bring it to this side, and you can position it to this side, then try to transform it. Can you see that? So this is the power of the wipe. Okay, and then the last one is go to that side, and then you see the vertical one. You try to move this one, then can modify this one as well. Okay, so this is the power of the wipe tool. Okay, so you don't have any formats, just play around it, just work with it. So the transforming, increasing the size and then reducing the size, that is the major thing you will use when you are working with Photoshop or transforming an image. All right, now that we are done with transforming, before you transform an image, it is better for you to understand smart object and then raster image, or smart layer and then raster layer, because when you have a raster layer, it has its own principles. For you to understand the principles, please click the subscribe, click on the top there, and then watch the video on it. Made a nice video explain the principles of raster image. You can't miss it. Click on the top and then watch it. Now listen, if you have this image like this, okay, if you want to transform this, now let me keep a copy of this for you to see what I'm going to talk about. I don't want to, let me select this part. So I'm going to select this part, okay, and I'm going to create a copy of that, then create another copy again, then I'm going to hide this one. Okay, now we have two copies of this. Okay, now let me check the auto select. We have two copies. Now we are going to do something here. Now this one is a raster image. This one too is a raster image, but we want this one to be a smart object. So you convert it, you right click on it and then convert to smart object. After that, what we are going to do is we are going to transform this smart object. The smart object, this one is the smart, this one is the smart, then this one is the raster layer. Okay. So let us select the two, and then let us click transform. Now let us reduce the size to the minimum. Okay, so let us reduce it. Okay, we have this one. All right, so let us transform it again, then expand this. Okay, then hit enter. Now can you see the two? I don't know. Can you see the two? Can you see the difference? Can you see it? This is what we are talking about here. That's why I said click on the top there. Watch the principles of raster image, so that whenever you are working with an image, you end up destroying the image, or you don't transform image like that. This one is the raster image. This one is the smart object. When you are working with smart object and you transform the smart object, it doesn't transform the object itself. It transforms the instance of that image. Okay, so that's what it has done here. So it maintains the quality. The pixels are there, but when you look at this, the pixels are lost. There are no pixels. It has decreased all the pixels. So it is now pixelated. Now let me zoom in and see. This is what I'm talking about. It is pixelated. Pixelated. You can see that. Okay. So this one is now blur compared to this. A lot of difference. Please, you can't miss this tutorials. Stay with us and let us go on. So I'm going to delay this one. If you want to understand it, don't delay. Click on the top there or click in the description. You will see principles of raster image. Look at it and then work with it. Okay. So let me delay this one and then come back to our main work. So this is what we have. Now that we have understood transforming, we have learned about transforming. Now we are going to talk about scaling too. We have done scaling. That's what we did, increasing the size and then decreasing the size. We are moving to aligning the image, aligning the image. So now let us do our flyer with this particular, although we have already designed the basics of it. Let us add some stretch to it to make it like a flyer, to design it like a flyer. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to remove this. I'm going to crop it again. Then I want to cover the side, cover this side, cover this side. I'll maintain the down here. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to place an image here. So before I do that, I will go to file and then go to file and then import, sorry, place embedded desktop. You can just drag and drop. Okay. It seems my listen is not. So when you come, you just look for the image. So I need this social handle. Okay. This one. Okay. So now we have this. I've already created this one. So now we have this. So this is where the alignment come in. Now click on your rectangular macro tool and then select this particular area. Okay. Because that's where we want to place in the image. So we just click on the social handles and then what we're going to do is we are going to position it vertically downwards. Okay. So you come here. Let's look for it. Align at the bottom of this. Click on it. And we get that. See, I didn't drag anything. Let me go back again. Deselect it. I'm doing it again. All you need to do is let's look at this one. Then click. Then select that particular area. Okay. Now that you have selected it, make sure it is selected. Okay. Now, now we have this. We want to align this one to the bottom. If we want to do that, okay. Now let me look at M and then position this one well. Then B again. Then select this one again. Now I want to align this to the bottom. Okay. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to align this one to the bottom. So I will come to this side. So we have align to the bottom edges, align to the top. So when I click on this, see what's going to happen. The top of where I selected. When I choose align to the bottom, see align to the bottom of where I selected. And then we have this. See, you can just use this one. So that is the alignment. Okay. So align to the bottom. After that, you press on Control D. So that align here. Then I'll place my this thing here. But you could see that this one is covering this one. So I need to away some of the areas, the white areas here. Okay. So I'm going to press on M again. Then I'll select this part. Okay. But I have to convert this one to raster layer. Then backspace. Okay. Now you can see everything there. Okay. So we are creating our file. Now that we have this, that we have positioned it, we want to add certain things to the background here so that the background will look nice. Okay, the white. Come to file and then place embedded. Then you want to place this one. Okay, so this image is a raster image, so I need to convert this one to, okay, it's a smart image. So for you to see whether it is a smart or raster, just look at this place. If it is a raster image, you will not see this particular icon here, but if it is smart, you will see it there. So Control T, want to position this one. Okay, Now that we have this one, it looks like it has covered the whole thing. It is too much, so I want to um blend it with the background small. um okay, let me reduce the opacity. I don't want it to be more vivid. Okay, so I'll do it this way. Okay, I like it this way. Let me do it 50%. Enter. Okay, now we have this. So what we are going to do now is we are going to add the name straight. Okay, but this time I want to create a design something on this one. So I'll press my text, then I'll dot. Okay, then I'll change the color. I need this color. Okay, select it first. Okay, then apply the color. Nice. From here you can just make a copy of this to create so that you just create something like this. So we have this. Now we can combine this one to be three. So you hold the shift key, then we select the three, then control E to merge it. Now we have one object. Okay, one object. Okay, we have this one here, and just make it two, and place another one here. Any way you want it, like we are just designing it. Design is a design, it's an act. So any way you can make it nice. So now we have created that. Okay, now we want to add another text. So the name of the company can come. So we are Bliss Innovation, Bliss Innovation and Design. Okay, then we select all this. Then we need to change the font and go to properties and then increase the spacing. Okay, then transform this as well. Okay, now what you are going to do is we want to place our logo here. So you go to the site, then look for the logo. The logo. Okay, on this one. Okay, I don't want the logo to lose its distance, so it is in front of this, so I can transform this one. Alright. Always when you are designing something, you should make sure the colors move together. Now this color is blue and green. One is also different thing. Now this is not the main topic. So if you want to do that, make sure you stay connected with us. We will learn more on how to create a flyer. This one I just want to show you how you can do the alignment. So let me place this logo here somewhere. And if you want to align this logo to a particular space, you just create that over there. Okay, something like this. Then V, then position that one to the particular place. Okay, so we want to shift it to the side. Now you can see that it is there now. Then control D, we have this. Come over it. This is what we are talking about. This is our basic uh, flyer we can create in using this particular tutorials. Thank you very much for staying with us. There are more to come, please. please stay with us. You can't go. Just subscribe, like, share, comment. We need your comments. Let us know how you see this tutorial, what you want us to do, and we will do that for you. I love you all, and then bye bye.